Hi again, my name is Christy and I've got more mindful movement for you, and today's is going to be focusing on posture. So the muscles in our upper back that help to keep our head back, our shoulders and our neck healthy, muscles behind the hips, backs of the legs, really the back of the body, what's often called the posterior chain. So we might do a little opening of the fronts of the hips also, but we're just going to focus on that back body, and we'll get a little extra challenge, if you'd like it, with either a soup can or a jar of jam or marmalade. Works great. If you've got some weights, then in Australia or the UK, you might use 1 to 2 kilo, or if you're in North America, then 2 to 3 pounds. They're optional, you don't have to use them, but if you do, you just need at least one. You don't even have to have a pair. And then once you have done that, I'm just going to come up to hands and knees. If you want some extra padding for your knees, just roll your mat back. We are going to take to start one weight just underneath kind of our chest as we come to hands and knees. And then in that position, just sit back a little bit with your weight towards your feet so that your shoulders are behind your hands. And let's see if you can just keep that position and try to just lift and lower your fingers and the front of your hands so your wrist will stay down. So see if you can do that without bending your elbows too much. So we're starting to warm up the front of our forearm, and that is going to help to give us a little bit more, hopefully, flexibility in our wrists, and along with that is our shoulders. The wrists and shoulders are connected in their movement ability. So just lift and lower the front of your hands. Just nice and easy. Might seem a bit weird, but I'm going to put a few things together. Now, could you make it more challenging? Bring your shoulders a bit forward, so they're maybe over your wrists, maybe still a little behind. And then could you lift and lower your hands here? Nope, without letting those elbows bend. So if you're right-handed, you might notice that you have a little harder time doing this on your right arm. I'm left-handed, so it's a little harder for me on my left. 2 more. And then spread your fingers on the floor. Come right over your wrist, maybe just a little behind with your shoulders. Hands a little wider than shoulder width. Your knees the same width as your hips. Now try to keep your elbows straight and your hands still as you rotate your arm bones. So think about that inner eye of the elbow. Turn them out and turn them in. Spiral them out and spiral them in. So that inner eye of the elbow is what we're trying to turn. If it bothers your wrist here, if you're still feeling tight, just take your shoulders a little behind your wrists. But try to keep your elbows straight and try to position your hands so that your wrist crease is facing forward. So it's not turned inward or turned outward. So just spiral those arm bones while keeping the pads of your fingers and your knuckles connected to the floor. Just turning out and turning in. Now let's see if we can hold your arm bones turned outward and let your shoulder blades sink together and then shoulder blades apart. I want you to keep going. I'm just going to turn to the side so that you can get a better sense of this. So just keep letting your shoulder blades collapse and then move apart, and see if you can do that while keeping your arm bones turned outward. Now, see if there's a way to start to move your shoulder blades in circles around your upper back, so you glide them up across your back ribs towards your head, down towards your hips. Let them come apart, back up toward the head, let them collapse together and down. There will be a little bit of movement of the rest of the spine, but we want to try to minimize that. Now go the other direction. Can you keep your elbows straight? Where's your head? Can you keep it higher than your shoulders? We're going to get there in a second. Now hold, take your hands a little in front of your shoulders. Now tuck your chin, try to get a double chin. And then could you retract your head? So take the base of your skull toward the ceiling and then let your head go. Try to get base of your skull toward the ceiling. It's like you've got a little apricot underneath your chin. Try to keep it tight. Pull back and release. So you're trying to get the back of your head higher than your shoulders. Not by lifting your chin. Keep your chin tucked. Kind of an odd sensation. Most of us, as you know, go through our day with our head forward. So 2 more. And then release back. Just give your wrists a little break. And then grab your weight or your jam jar or your chickpeas with your left hand if you're using it. And then come back up to hands and knees. If your wrist needs a break, come onto your right knuckles. And then let's take that weight with our left arm back beside our left hip. Roll your right shoulder back. Now try to keep your left arm straight. Let's turn our arm bone on our left side again. Straight elbow. See if you can rotate your left palm to face the ceiling. And then roll your left palm down. Now it's not just coming from the hand. I want your entire arm bone to move so that your left shoulder blade is moving a little away from your spine and then back towards your spine. Once you've got the hang of that, feel free to extend your right leg back, maybe hover just a touch off the floor. Head's higher than shoulders, eyes are looking down. 5 more here. 4. Try to be square in your shoulders and pelvis if you can. 2 more. Now hold your palm, left palm facing down. Roll your left shoulder to your spine, but without twisting to the left. Tuck your chin, head's retracted, take a breath in. Exhale, open your left arm to the left if you can toward a T position. Hold, breathe. Get long in the spine. Focus on your shoulders pulling down on that upper back on the left side with no twist in the hips. 2 more breaths, and we're going to try the spirals here. You can always get rid of the weight. All right, 10 spirals. Turn your left palm up, turn your left palm down. 9 to go. So rotate from your shoulder rather than just the hand. See if you can get that inner eye of the elbow to look down now, and then up toward the ceiling, but without twisting your spine to the left. 5 more of each. Two more. And relax. Place that weight down. Come back to hands and knees. Round your back for just 1 moment. Breathe out as you do that. Look up to the ceiling. Let your shoulder blades collapse. Find somewhere in the middle. All right, so grab the weight with your left hand. I'm going to turn around so you can see. You guys stay right there. So now the right hand has the weight. Right hand has the weight. Extend your right arm back behind you. Roll your right shoulder back and down. Square your shoulders. Head's higher. Maybe extend your left leg. Spiral your right arm bone. Turn your right palm to face the ceiling. Turn your right palm to face the floor. Just square your shoulders and hips. Open your collarbones. Get long in your waist so you're not rounded in your back. You can inhale one direction, exhale the other. Let that shoulder blade move with your arm. As your palm turns up, shoulder blade goes away from the spine. 3 more of each. Now palm faces down. Take a breath. Extend your right arm toward the right side of the room. T position. Pull your shoulder down. Try not to twist. You can get rid of the weight if you need, or with your elbow straight. Turn your palm to face the ceiling and inside of the elbow down, and then rotate the other direction, palm up, inside of the elbow toward the ceiling. So you're rotating and rotating. The left foot can be on the floor, off the floor. 7 to go each way. We'll be off our hands and knees after this. 3 more each way. 1 more time each way. That's exactly it. And when you're ready, gently place the weight down. Hands under shoulders, round your back. Extend your spine, go the other direction, look up toward the ceiling. And then release. Now, we're going to come down to our back, give our arms a little break. We will be coming back to this work. But come down to line your back with your knees bent, your feet planted into the floor. Your head's down flat. So just your ponytail, ladies, if you've got one. Roll your shoulder blades down. And now see if you can take your arms into what I call cactus position or goalpost position. So your elbows are down and the backs of your hands along with your fingernails are down. If that doesn't work for your shoulders, then you can just lift your hands off the floor. All right, so take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, tuck your chin, lead with your pubic bone, and roll your hips up toward the ceiling. So try if you can not to come up onto your neck, but I want you to keep the weight between your shoulder blades, your glutes active, your tail tucked, and just stay here for a few breaths. Just feeling the fronts of your hips open, 10 toes connected to the floor, those big toe mounds connected to the floor. Take another breath, and then when you're ready, slowly, slowly, roll all the way down, keeping your fingernails on the floor. Now we're going to keep that challenge. This time your hips will stay down to start. Keep your fingers on the floor and glide your arms over your head. Keep your elbows bent, try to make a little diamond shape. And then return to cactus. So elbows are down, fingernails are down. Try to keep those fingernails on the floor. Breathe out as you go overhead. Now can you do this without letting your rib cage lift? So let your rib cage settle down. Exhale up and inhale down. Chin is tucked. This might just feel a little activity in your upper back. Now if it's comfortable, we're going to maintain that diamond shape with our arms so that your index fingers are almost, or they might be connected, your elbows are bent and they're pressing into the floor. And then return to your bridge. So tuck your tail and roll your hips up toward the sky. Make sure there's nothing underneath your head. So hips are lifted. So your chin is tucked, your glutes are active, your elbows are pushing down. And just spend 3 deep breaths here. Try to breathe into your back and get long in your waist so the fronts of your hips open. 2 more breaths. Breathe into your back. Now let's maintain this position with our elbows down and the weight between our shoulder blades, not on our neck. Can you keep the front of your waist open? Don't let it drop. So you're going to try to keep that area broad. As you lift or lighten your right leg, try to keep, if you can, those hips open. Maybe right leg tabletop, and then right foot back down, toe ball heel. So push your elbows in the floor. Left leg up, alternate sides for 10. So try to keep your pelvis still and your elbows down. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Nice and easy. If this is too easy for you, don't worry, there's more challenge coming. If you feel like this is too hard, just make your foot lighter. Don't actually lift it off the floor. Push those elbows down actively. One more time each way. Now the next time you lighten or lift your right leg, keep it light or lifted. See if you can extend your arms over your head now. Draw your right knee a little closer to your chest and roll your spine down to the mat. And then roll back up and breathe out. Push from your outer left heel. Do that again. Roll down and roll back up. Now I want you to keep your chest open here if you can, so that your fingernails stay, if you can, in contact with the floor. If your arms don't like that, or shoulders don't like it, bend your elbows a bit. And then can you still articulate down through your spine? So your chest stays open, arms stay down, chin stays tucked, and each vertebra of your spine has a chance to articulate into the floor and then back off of the floor. 4 more. Inhale down, 3. One more. And hold. Lower your right foot down. If you need a break, go ahead and take it. Otherwise, left leg up to tabletop. And roll down. Inhale through the spine. Press those arms down and roll right back up. Open the front of your right hip. Reach your right knee away. Try to keep your left hip as high as your right. 7 to go. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. Press those elbows down. Press your fingernails down. 4. Almost there. 3. Nice stretch for the back. 2. And 1. Hold your hips up, both feet down. Keep all 10 fingers on the floor and roll your back down, 1 vertebra at a time. Go through your lower back if you can. Then let your tail anchor to the floor. Get a little extension in your low back, maybe a lot. And then reverse reverse it. Tuck your tail, imprint your lower back, lead with your pubic bone and roll right back up to the top of your bridge. Keep all fingernails on the floor and breathe in to roll down. Continue breathing in through your neutral pelvis, all the way into a bit of extension. Breathe out as you roll back up. Just nice and easy, finding your center, keeping those fingers connected, toes are spread. 2 more slowly. Exhale, roll up. And inhale down. Chin is tucked. Do 1 more of those if you can. And then roll all the way back down. All right, so now roll over onto your belly and just make sure that you've got a weight outside of your left arm. So you've got your hand or your weight outside your left arm. And then kind of outside your left hip. Bend your elbows and bring your elbows right in towards your ribs. Tuck your chin and let your forehead rest on the floor. Now keep those elbows tucked and just push into them to come into a little bit of extension, but keep your chin tucked. And then return your chest down. So start with a few of those. Push your elbows down, come into a low hover, your feet are hip width apart, and then return your chest down. Try to keep your pubic bone anchored so that your lower back is not going into extension or that short position. So just lift and lower, using your elbows for assistance. Open the front of your body. 4 more here. Two more. All right, now let's add a little more challenge. Both arms down beside your hips, not yet with the weight. Let your palms roll to face the ceiling as your head finds the floor. And then as you lift your chest off the floor, keep looking down, roll the palms of your hands into your thighs, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then return your chest down and your palms up. Try that again. Pubic bone anchors, squeeze your shoulder blades together, roll the palms of your hands into the side seam of your pants or tights or shorts, and then relax back down. You can also do this with your forehead on the floor the whole time and just work on those arm spirals. Our goal is to get our collarbones open at the top. 4 more. One more. And then hold there for a second and place your right hand underneath your forehead and then your forehead on your right hand. Grab the weight with your left hand, and again, your forehead is now down. The weight is underneath your left hand. Roll your left shoulder blade into your upper back. Lift the weight off the floor. And this time we're going to open to T position right away. Hold there and breathe, and try to get both hips evenly weighted. Push your right hip down as heavy as your left. Now, you can do away with the weight if you'd like. We're going to try to spiral here 10 times with our elbows straight. Palm to the ceiling, turning in, turn out, palm toward the ceiling. Keep that right hip heavy, and again, feel free to lower your weight or that soup can. Push your right hip down. 5 more of each. And then relax down, keep the weight, and bend your elbow now to about 90 degrees so it sits just outside your shoulder, your elbow's on the floor, your palm has the weight is facing your head, put your head down again. This time, can you lift your arm off the floor with the weight and lower it down 10 times. Breathe out as you lift and breathe in as you lower. Try if you can to lead with your hand on the way up and let your elbow touch the floor first on the way down. Now can you hold the lift, lower the weight if you need, do it without it, and can you just tap your elbow down enough, keep your hand lifted. 10 only. So lower your elbow, lift your elbow, keep your hand at the same height the whole time. Just that little tap, little lift. 5 to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold that arm lifted, straighten your elbow and bend it 10 times to finish. at least your thumb, higher than your elbow the whole time. If this is not challenging, definitely want to grab a little heavier weight if you've got it, or a heavier jar, maybe a big jar of tomatoes or marinara sauce or something. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1, and lower down. Just press back into a little child's pose, and then we'll do the other side. You can have your knees together, knees apart. You can also be up on your hands and your knees if your knees don't like this depth of position. I'm going to turn around so you can see the other side. We're going to come down onto our tummy. Keep the weight by your right hip this time. Head's on your hand. Right hand has the weight. Push your hips in the floor. Push your pubic bone down. Roll your right shoulder back and into your spine. Now lift the weight if you can. Open it to a T position. Hold it there with your palm facing forward and anchor your hip and breathe. Now can you rotate the palm, turn your arm bone inward to turn your palm up. Now rotate your palm up and inside of the elbow up. So internal and external rotation of your shoulder joint. 8 to go each way. You can always do away with the weight and just rotate your arm bone. Getting that clean movement from the shoulder. 4 more each way. Push that left hip down if you can. And relax. Then bend your elbow. So your elbow's outside your shoulder. Your right palm is facing your head. Thumb is on top. You've got the weight or can in the right hand. Roll your shoulders down. Anchor your pubic bone. Lift and lower your right arm. 10 times if you can. Lead with your hand on the way up and your elbow on the way down. Three more. Exhale up, inhale down. Now this time you're going to hold up if you can. Tap just your elbow to the floor and up, but keep your hand at the same height it's at now. Exhale down, inhale. 6, 5, almost there. 4, 3, we've got one more variation after this. 2, and then hold, straighten, bend. 10. Thumb stays higher than elbow, right shoulder down. If you're getting that tension, take a break and then come back in without the weight. 6 to go. Elbow down, thumb up. 3 more. 2, and relax down. And then once again, push back into a little child's pose. Let your back take a break. Take some deep breaths into your back. And then when you're ready from there, we're going to come all the way back down to our tummy. Do a little bit of lower body work here, just a touch. So this time, both hands underneath your forehead if your shoulders allow that. Otherwise, put a towel underneath your forehead and just bend your elbows back beside you. Now focus on lengthening your legs down the mat. So kind of rock a little side to side, and then anchor your pubic bone to the floor. Now keep your knees straight, and see if you can hover both thighs off the floor. Think about lifting from your smile muscle, so the bottom of the buttocks, so the top of the thigh and the thumb come together. And can you lift without letting your pubic bone lose contact with the floor? So I want you to think about lengthening your lower back, and if possible, lifting up through the front abdomen. Now keep that length in your thighs, and see if you can spiral your thigh bones inward and outward. Start with just a few of those. Try not to just turn the feet. I know that's easy to do, but try to turn your knees, your thighs. That's it. 4 more. Keep that length in your lower back. Now hold your thigh bones facing the floor. Can you squeeze your legs together? So inner knees, thighs, ankle bones, and then open. Do that without letting your lower back shorten. So lift your navel away from the floor. Long, straight legs. Breathe out, squeeze, breathe in, open. 7 to go. How long can you make those legs? 4, 3, 2. Now hold your legs about sunglasses width, keep your knees straight, and flutter kick your legs. One up, one down. Can you do that without letting your pelvis rock side to side? Get longer, get taller, breathe. 5 deep breaths to go. Long, straight legs. Try to lift your belly away from the floor. If you're doing this correctly, it's very challenging. 3 to go, breaths. And then relax your legs, wiggle your hips out. All right, now let's find that same torpedo position we had a few minutes ago and add the swimming legs. So roll your shoulder blades together, press the palms of your hands into the side seam of your pants, so collarbones are open. You can keep your forehead on the floor if you need, or pubic bone anchors, forehead's lifted, tuck your chin so you're looking down, float your legs off the floor, and flutter kick. Deep breaths here, 8 deep breaths. So our goal is to not rock side to side. So you've got to be really stable and connected in your core. So lift your navel away from the floor and then activate the back of the hip, which is also part of your core. 4 more breaths. Long, straight legs. Turn your kneecaps and toes to face down. If you're getting any toe cramping, just take a little break and then sit back and return. 1 more breath. And then relax. Turn your head to one side. Wiggle your hips a little bit. Getting a little foot cramp. All right, 1 more challenge, staying with that same leg variation. But now, fingertips either temple or underneath your forehead. Lift your elbows up, tuck your chin, push your pubic bone down, hover your head if you can, or forehead down for more back support. Lengthen your legs, and flutter kick again. Lift your belly. 8 breaths. In through the nose, out through your nose or mouth. In through your nose, out through your nose or mouth. Try not to let those elbows move around. Stable in the upper body. Lift your elbows higher than your head if you can. Tuck your chin. 4 more breaths. One more breath. And relax. Once again, wiggle your hips a little side to side. Now we're going to put our forehead down on our hands and do a stretch for the front of the hip using the back. We're using our back of our hip really. So forehead's down. Can you bend your right knee, flex your ankle, and we're going to just hover our knee off the floor for a second and turn our right knee out and our foot in. So just start with that and then relax your knee back down. So this is just the prep. So hover your knee, turn your knee out and your foot in. Return to that parallel position and lower, exactly. Now, if that is enough for you, stay. If you'd like to go into the stretch portion, rotate your right foot in, keep your right elbow and your head down, and see if you can peel your right hip off the floor and tap the floor with your right foot outside the mat, outside your left leg. And then return all the way back and straighten your right leg down the mat again. Try that again, right side. Bend your right knee, float it off the mat, rotate your knee out, and then up to the ceiling as you reach across and try to find the floor outside your left hip, and then return down and lengthen. We'll do 8 of these. So the key is to keep your right elbow down, turn that knee out, and open the front of your right hip, your abdomen, and use that back body. 4 more. Relax, put your head down, bring your feet side by side, and just stretch your legs long. And just notice if there's anything that feels a little different between your legs. We didn't do a before picture, but just want you to notice if your right leg feels like it's longer. For most of us after that exercise, it will open the front of the hip and the organs to create a bit more space. Let's do the other side. Lift your left knee, head down, turn your knee out, foot in, just relax, and then return your knee back down. Let's do a couple preps. 2 more of those. And if one side doesn't feel good in your lower back, Just back it off a little bit. Now lift your leg, rotate your knee out and your foot in, and then maybe peel across, push your left elbow down, maybe tap the floor outside your right hip, and then return down and lengthen your leg. 8 total. Exhale as you twist. Knee up, foot down. Inhale as you lengthen back to the mat. Four to go. And then bring your legs side by side. Just notice if they've caught up, if that left leg's caught up now. And then let's press up to hands and knees. And once you're on your hands and knees, hands a little in front of your shoulders, knees right under your hips. Just round your back for a second. Just stay there and take a couple breaths into your back. Let your low back have a little break. And then find somewhere in the center and just walk your hands a little forward of your shoulders. Now your knees and your feet are about hip width apart. We're going to press back through our chest and open our shoulders. And then keep that, spread your fingers, that wrist crease is facing forward. See if you can tuck your toes, lift your knees up, and just stretch back into a bent knee, downward dog, or inverted V. So open your chest here, that's our goal. So your knees are bent. Try if you can to push through your chest wall, not just your head. Let your head just hang. So stay here and breathe, pushing the mat away with your arm bones. So we're not trying to straighten our legs at this point, just want you to try to open your chest. Breathe, 3 more breaths. Now can you keep your chest out open and bring your elbows down to the floor? Keep your hands the same width as your elbows. And then here, can you push back through your chest wall? If it feels like it's too much, walk your feet a little farther back. And then once again, push your chest towards your thighs. Now in this position, if you want a bit more challenge, you could walk your feet towards your shoulders and or straighten your legs. You might even bend and straighten your knees, but try to keep, if you can, your chest reaching back towards your thighs. So that upper back is active, you're opening your shoulder joints. You've got 8 more breaths. I'm bending and straightening my knees, but you're welcome just to hold with your knees bent. You can even just keep your knees down and just stretch back in that little puppy pose. 4 more breaths. 3, 2. Now can we all hold our legs straight and push our chest back and breathe? Feel free to go back to your hands if you need. 2 more breaths. And soften your knees if you need. Bend your knees. And then once again, sit back into a little child's pose. This time fold your hands underneath your forehead and take 3 deep breaths into your back. We'll finish with 1 more active stretch. So coming up to your knees if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable kneeling, you could even stand up. I like a little padding, so I'm going to roll my mat back, put my left knee down, and then my right foot forward. Go a little wider to the right if you want some more support for your balance. So draw your head back over your shoulders. Lift your chest up. Now if it's comfortable, both hands on your head. If it's not, arms across your chest. When you lift your chest up a little more, draw your chin back. Squeeze your left buttocks, left glutes. And then with your head back behind your chest, can you side bend to your right? Stretch your left elbow toward the ceiling, away from your left knee. Don't let that left elbow come forward, keep it back. And then breathe out and come back up. That's it, yeah? So we're opening through a left side. Inhale. And exhale up. See if you can do this without hiking your right hip too much. Oops. Yeah, almost there. 2 more times. Inhale. Head back, chest open. Now this time we're going to stay Just hold and breathe, head back. Now can you just rotate your chest back a little bit? And then your chest forward a bit. So bring the right side of your chest up, and then take the left side of your chest in. That's it, exactly. Keep pushing that left hip forward. We're not in a lunging position. We're just really moving our trunk in order to open the hip flexor and pull it away from the top of the thigh. One more little side bend, and then return upright. You got it, release, and switch knees. So left foot forward, go a little wider to the left for more stability. And then once you found that happy place, activate your right glute, little tail tuck, so think about pubic bone to chest here. Arms can go across the chest, or if your shoulders are happy with it, hands on your head. Head's back, shoulders are down. Side bend to your left. Think about reaching your right elbow back and up, away from your right knee. And then exhale. Exactly. Big breath. And upright slowly. 3 more like that. Then we'll stay for that little bit of a twist to finish. Exhale up. Side bend, hold. And then rotate your ribs a little forward. Elbow forward on that right side. And then right elbow back. So staying in the side bend and adding a little bit of rotation. Think about moving from your shoulder blades also, so the back of your body has your awareness. Head still back. One more time each way. Come to center, one more side bend. And then return all the way up. Both knees are down, and you are all done. Great job today. I hope you had fun. If you have any questions, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Have a fabulous day.